Someone's called. It's all right, Mama.
I want you to move on into the door, please. So what was it left for?
Say that's all right, Mama.
Find out how Sam Phillips and what they did in this little building started a musical revolution the world's still rocking from. Yeah, what? The studio, Marion, is usually called Sam Phillips' secretary. But really, she was much more than a secretary. She took care of a lot of the business end of the business. She ran custom recording sessions. She also discovered Elvis Presley. Right, now that little office, this one studio, and the control room. That is the extent of Sun Studio. Now, because we are still an active recording studio, we do not visit the control room as part of the tour, but it's all been modernized in there anyway, so nothing of historical value to see. Recording service, and began recording some of the blues greats who were playing down on Beale Street. Or guitar. He's standing in front of a microphone in a recording studio for the very first time in his life.
Even shadows make me blue. When each weary day is through, how I love to be with you. Every day I rain.
Now, Marion taped the session. She cut Elvis's record for him. She also thought that she was hearing something special, so she saved that tape to play for Sam. When Sam heard it, he was not impressed. In fact, he was so unimpressed, it took a whole year of Elvis hanging around and a lot of nagging from Marion before Sam finally invited Elvis in to make his first professional record. This is on July 5th, 1954. Sam teamed Elvis up with Bill Black on the bass and Scotty Moore on electric guitar. We put Elvis and Scotty and Bill here in the studio, and after a long night of working on country ballads, nothing was happening that Sam was getting too excited about. But late that night, they were taking a break in the recording session. Elvis began to fool around with a blues song by Big Boy Crudup called That's All Right. Sam thought he had something here. This was like no blues song he'd ever heard before. This was like nothing he'd ever heard before. This was blues and country fused in a whole new way. It would come to be known as rockabilly, the root from which all rock and roll grows. Now, Sam's not going to press thousands of copies of a record that sounds this different without a test. So he took a test copy out of that man, Dewey Phillips. That's Dewey in the small picture with Elvis waving at you there. Now, Dewey Phillips was not related to Sam Phillips, but they were good friends. And Dewey had the hottest radio show in town. So if you were here in Memphis on July 8, 1954, listening to Daddy-O Dewey on Red Hot and Blues, you would have heard the opening shot of the rock and roll revolution. It sounded something kind of like this.
Oh, yes, I got people so Phillips. Let's bring the hottest cotton picking thing that got a real hot glue. Come to the WHBQ in Hotel Chisco on the magazine floor. That's it right, Diaz? That's right. Why you call Sam, Putney? I got to call Sam, Diaz. Hi, Pete. Hey, come on in, Ern. Good to see you, Ern. How you doing, buddy? Pretty good, Putney. Get you a wheelbarrow load of man-homes. Run them through the front door and tell them Phillips sent you for it. Hot and blue. And you, I got a new song we're going to play here. We're going to cut loose this new song.
So in the center of the room, right about under the light fixtures, you got Scotty Moore with the electric guitar, and Bill Black with stand-up bass, the bull fiddle, as he would have called it. And then back on the drums, a studio drummer named Johnny Bernaro. And you'll hear the voice of Sam Phillips. He was in the control room, running the recording equipment, giving them technical advice. But you'll also hear them laughing. That's because Carl Perkins happened to be in the office at the time. He was on the other side of the window making faces at them and trying to break them up. All right, the scene set. You visualize this while you listen to it. You squint your eyes just right. You'll see Elvis standing there. Here's Elvis's last Sun Record recording session in late October 1955.